Hi, everybody. It's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching my video today. Today's video is called Cold Weather Safety for Pets. Protect your pets this winter. For those of you who have not been here before, my name is Deborah and my website is PeopleLovingAnimals.com. I've had this website since 2015 and I've written literally hundreds of articles and blog posts and done tons of videos now all about the health, care, safety, and training of dogs and cats. You'll find several articles on this website all about cat training, dog training, pet care, pet health. You'll find several videos on all those subjects on this YouTube channel. And that's what I do. I do a new video at least once a week, and I do several new blog posts and articles for my website on a regular basis. So if you're already a subscriber to this YouTube channel, welcome back, and thanks so much for subscribing. I'm trying to build my channel, and I'm trying to use the internet to help as many dogs and cats as I can, and I so appreciate everything that you do to support me, including everyone who's watching this video right now. Now, I want to tell you a couple of things. First of all, we're going to use this article that I've written for my website. I'm not going to read this article to you. I'm just going to use it kind of as a guide for today's video. And in the description box of this video, I'll give you the link to this article. Okay, so if you see something in the article as we're skimming down that you would have liked to read, then don't worry about it, because after you're done watching the video, you can click into the article with the link I'm going to give you, and you'll be able to read the article, and you're also going to be able to click on the links in it. Okay, and obviously by clicking on that article, you're going to be visiting my website, PeopleLovingAnimals.com, and you can look around there and see if there's anything else that that might help you as far as the articles that are on there. Okay. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to have a free gift for you, so I hope you'll stick with me through the end. Now, in this video, we're going to be discussing several cold weather safety issues for pets, and we're going to talk about ways to prevent cold weather hazards for pets. I am going to ask you to please share this video with your friends. If you live in a cold climate, or if you have friends who live in a cold climate, I really would appreciate it if you would share this video with them, because you're going to find a lot of things in this video that you probably didn't realize, and they probably don't realize either. So again, my whole purpose of my website and my YouTube channel is to help as many animals as I can. And the best way for me to do that is for you to help me and share the information. So I would appreciate it so much. And if you found this video, if you find any information in this video that has helped you, I'd appreciate it if you would give it a like. It really helps YouTubers on YouTube when you give us a like. So I would appreciate that so much. Now, let's go ahead and get right into these cold weather safety tips. Now, first of all, I live in Western New York, Buffalo area. All right, so I do know what cold is. We have, really severe cold here in the area where I live. Now, if you live in a place where it's downright cold, you really need to be aware of the threats that are lurking when it comes to cold weather safety for your pet. Even breeds that you think are built for winter, like, for example, in the picture here, this is my friend Kathy has these two beautiful dogs, and she let me use the picture for the website. And this is literally them. This was taken a few years ago. They're laying out in the yard. Well, look at their coats. I mean, they're obviously built for winter. And there are several dog breeds that are built for winter. But you has to realize they are, in fact, number one, they're a dog, not a bear. Okay, they're not a grizzly bear. They're a dog. And second, they are a living, breathing mammal. Okay, so they still can get cold. All right, and especially as they get older. Also, so a lot of people will say, oh, the dog's fine. He's got a fur coat. Really? You got a dachshund. Does a dachshund have a fur coat? No. Does a Doberman have a fur coat? No. Does a pit bull have a fur coat? No. Do you know what I mean? So you really have to be aware of what is safe for pets in the cold weather. Now, I also wanted to mention, it probably won't be this week. It'll probably be next week. I'm going to be doing a second video on this subject, and it's using an article that I've already written for my website, and I've been posting on social media for several years. And that is, when is it too cold for dogs? So that's going to get into more specifics, like, okay, how do I know when it's too cold for my dog? You know, how long can we play outside? How long can we be on the walk? All that sort of thing. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe right now, and then you'll know when that video comes out, and you can click on the little notification bell too, and you'll actually get an email then when I do that video, which is probably going to be this time next week. You know, it's important. We do have to know, we do have to keep our pets safe in the winter. Now, exposure to the cold, just like for humans, prolonged exposure to the cold can be extremely dangerous for pets, even for dogs with thick fur. Your pet, being outside too long can lead to hypothermia, arthritis flare-ups. That's why I say, especially older dogs, boy, they don't do well in the cold, and neither do we. You know, the older I get, my knees, my feet, you know, joints hurt when you're older when it's cold outside. So you have to keep that in mind for your elderly dog or cat if you have one. And it can even result in death. Dogs have frozen to death. Unfortunately, my family, that happened within my family. It was not my fault. I didn't own the dog at the time. If I had, it wouldn't have happened. But we did actually have a Doberman freeze to death. It was a member of my family that actually happened. Okay, so don't think that they're sitting out there and they're a dog and they're fine. They're not. Okay. So don't leave your dog outside if the weather is cold for any substantial length of time. We're going to go over a lot of details in this video, so please stick with me. And like I say, never leave an elderly pet with arthritis outside for a long time. You know, elderly pets, they can slip and fall. Their bones are very brittle, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Your pet can really get into serious trouble with cold weather, really. So, okay, I think I've made my point. I'm sorry, I'll stop saying it again and again. Now, here's one issue of the many we're going to discuss in this video. So, ice and salt on their paws. You know, a lot of people, like, you know, people for their residential homes, businesses, we all put that salt out. You know, we shovel the sidewalk and then we put salt out. Well, a lot of times that salt can be detrimental to the paws of animals. It actually like eats away at their pads on their feet, and it's not good for them at all. It's really terrible. You really have to, you know, if you have a dog especially that's outside a lot, or a cat that's outside a lot in the winter, always be checking their pads. Now, one of the best things to do, if you can get your pet to wear boots, that's obviously the best protection from salt and just from frostbite, and they can get frostbite on their toes just like humans. The other tip is that you can either have a towel or a washcloth, or baby wipes work really well to keep next to the door, to just give your pet's paws a quick wipe when they come in from outside. So that would help to protect them from that salt as well. And you can also purchase something like this product called Safe Paw, and this is one that you can use at your house that is safe for the paws. Okay, so you have the option of using this one at your house, and then you don't have to worry about it so much at your own home. But just keep in mind, if you're taking your dog for a walk, if they're walking down the road, the salt they use on the roads is really like downright corrosive to skin, you know, in their pads. So if you're walking your dog on a road that's plowed and salted, this is a big issue. Even if you're walking them at a park, if there's walking paths in the town, you know, plows and salts, then obviously that's something you don't have any control of. So you have to take precautions and clean your dog's feet after the walk. But for your house, you can use this. Now, I've given you a couple links in this article. I'll try to remember to put these links in the description box of this YouTube video as well. This is a link for inexpensive boots that you can buy for your pet. And then I also am giving you the link to buy this safe pet ice melt here. So you can go ahead and purchase that if you'd like to. Slipping on the ice. Look at this picture. This is my dog, Taz. Now, Taz unfortunately passed away back in 2016. I had her for a long time, and if you've been on my website or my YouTube channel for any length of time, you've heard me talk about her. She's my sweet little wiener dog. I loved her so much. This is also her up here in the this picture here on my website. So you're going to see a lot of pictures of Taz in this on this YouTube channel and this website. But here she is. This was a picture I took of her after she had had a slip and fall on the ice. Now, this poor dog, dachshunds have bad backs anyway, so their backs can be injured. But she had fallen on the ice, and for a week, I had to hand feed her dog food. She was in so much pain that she couldn't put her head down. Now look at, see how tall a dachshund is. They're only this tall to begin with, but she couldn't bend down like this to eat her food. Like she couldn't. So I had to hand feed her. I had to bring the food to her mouth for about a week because she was in so much pain. Now, not to mention, as I say in this article, the x-rays and the medical care for that slip on the ice cost me $1,000 in vet bills. Okay, and I put a link in here. Get pet insurance. I didn't have pet insurance for her at the time, and this ended up being a very expensive little dog over the 6.5 years that I had her. She had a lot of health problems, but this is one, just one example. I have an article that I'm linking here too about the benefits of having health insurance for your pets. But anyway, she slipped and fell on the ice. She hurt her back badly, and it cost me $1,000 in vet bills. But more heartbreaking was the pain that she endured, because it really was terribly painful for her, and I had an enormous amount of guilt because I had not kept the path clear for her, and she fell. And so this is her recovering. She has a little pillow here and her little blankie, and she was having a terrible time. So you have to be careful. That's one of the cold weather safety hazards for animals, is they can slip on the ice and be injured. Outside water supply. I don't know if this is something that somebody think of, but you know what I mean? You put a bowl of water out for the dog. If it's winter, it's going to freeze. It's going to just be an ice block out there. So you got to keep that in mind. You either have to refill the bowl often, just check it often. You can also get, a heated bowl, and I'm giving you a link here in the article. And again, I'm going to try to remember to put these links in the description box too. You can actually get a heated water bowl for your pet, so it keeps the bowl just above freezing, so the water won't freeze in the bowl. But I just think it's something that people just don't think of. The other thing too is, I talk about this in the article. Remember when we were kids and our parents told us not to lick anything metal during the winter? And you remember how we all did it anyway? Like, for example, we had a metal sled. Oh, what are they talking about? You put your tongue on it. Your tongue sticks to metal. It's terrible. But that can happen to dogs too. So, if you have like a metal dog dish and they're trying to lick it and it's frozen, their tongue will stick to that, just like our tongues will stick. Okay. So I think if you have a dog who has to have access to water outside, I think the heated water bowl is the best thing to do. And like I said, I'm giving you the link to go ahead and purchase one here. Also, weight gain. Dogs, look at this little sweetie. That's Taz again in her little winter coat. Weight gain can be an issue for dogs in the winter, just like it's an issue for people in the winter time. I'm a walker. I walk between 2 and 5 miles a day. Now, I do walk all year long, even though I live in Buffalo. And in the winter time, obviously, I have to wear layers. I have to really bundle up like an Eskimo, and I walk anyway. But obviously, for me, I'm not going to walk outside in February wearing the same clothes that I walk outside in June. And the same is true for your dogs. You've got to. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the coat because I see the dog in the coat here. They have to have a coat. I'm sorry. We were talking about weight gain. Let me just keep up with the article. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place today. But like I was saying, I walk between 2 and 5 miles a day, but obviously I walk less in the winter, because even though I can bundle up like an Eskimo, sometimes in the winter in this area, it is just too cold to walk. And I don't get out and walk as often. Even if I force myself out on a walk and I dress up like an Eskimo to go do it, during the summertime, I walk all over the place. Do you see what I mean? So my point is, their activity level is reduced in the winter because they're not spending as much time playing in the yard. They're not walking as much. So weight gain can be an issue. So you need to lower your dog's calorie intake a little bit in the winter if they're very active in the warmer months and they're not so much in the winter months. Now back to the coat. Try to take your dog for walks in the winter as much as possible. But if you're going to take them out in the winter, they should have a coat on. Now here's a link for Amazon. There's a lot of really cute, really nice dog coats, all different sizes. You can always buy on Amazon. This little pink coat I got for Taz. And this is, I don't know how to explain it. This is like that polyester winter coat fabric, which is really good because if it's wet, wet snow, this really helps to keep them dry. Now, for this wiener dog, her little belly is like right down to the ground. And so I found in the wintertime, her little belly would be cold, like from snow. It's like wet and cold with icy snow. So what I did was I purchased onesies, actual onesie little t-shirts like you get for babies, and I would put a onesie under this little coat for her, and it was just an extra layer that helped to keep her skin dry in the wintertime when we walked. Now keep in mind, even though this dog has this little coat on, she had the onesie underneath, she had the hood, I can take her for a walk in this, but I got to remember her feet are still exposed, her little face, her eyes, her nose are still exposed. So, it doesn't make them invincible. You still have to use the same precautions when you're walking them in the winter. Okay. Another thing that you might like to do for your pet in the wintertime is provide a space heater for them. Um, Now, I'm talking in my article here. You guys have probably experienced this too. Have you ever had a dog or cat that will lay like right on the register and it gets like so hot? Like they'll lay right on the register on the floor and their skin and fur gets so hot. I've had both dogs and cats do that. Um, or they sit too close to the fireplace, they're trying to get warm. You might want to provide a little space heater for them near their bed, near where they sleep, so you can kind of control the heat so they're not laying right on the heat, so they're not getting too close to a fireplace. But again, space heaters can be dangerous in your home, period. So be careful with space heaters, and it's not okay to leave a space heater on when you're not at home, whether you have a pet or not. It's not safe. So please just use good sense when it comes to a space heater. But like I say, if you have a dog or a cat that's laying on the register all the time, or if they're getting too close to the fireplace, a space heater might be the answer. If you put a little space heater near their bed, they're comfortably warm, and so they're not seeking out a heat source. Okay. Antifreeze, you probably already know about this one. Antifreeze is poisonous to pets. Sometimes they'll, apparently it looks just like water. It's commonly ingested by pets because it's sweet tasting. It's on the garage floor. They go up, they take a slurp, and it's toxic. Okay. So, never leave your pet in the garage by themselves. Never leave the antifreeze in the garage. It's not safe for your kids. It's not safe for pets. Just, don't let your dog drink out of puddles, especially if it's like a parking lot. If your dog's drinking out of a puddle in a parking lot, that puddle could very well contain antifreeze, from a car that was parked there. So if you spill antifreeze, make sure you clean it up right away. Just keep in mind, it's sweet tasting. Okay, you wouldn't think it would be, but it is. So if they come on it, they smell it, they'll lick it, they'll drink it. Okay, so just be aware of that for dogs and cats and kids. Honestly, carbon monoxide poisoning. This is always a health concern for any people or animals who live in cold climates where there's a furnace running. Unfortunately, carbon monoxide poisoning happens, quite often. Um, it's dangerous for humans, obviously, but it's even more dangerous for pets because pets are often left home alone for many hours. And, obviously, they don't know when something's up. They can't leave the house. They can't open the front door and leave if they feel sick. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's even more dangerous for animals. Even if you have a carbon monoxide detector, if the thing's going off, your dog's home alone, what's he going to do? Do you see what I mean? But I do recommend that you purchase a carbon monoxide detector. I give you the link for it here. I'm going to give it to you in the description box. If you don't have a carbon monoxide detector in your house, you need to have one. Okay. It's really important for your safety. Beware of frozen ponds and lakes. This one upsets me. If you're in an area where there's a lake or a pond, always make sure that you keep your dog on a leash. It would only take a few minutes for your dog to get away from you and literally fall into a lake or a pond. Even if the water appears to be frozen, it may not have a thick enough layer of ice to hold your dog's weight. And not only is he at risk of falling through the ice, but he could get too far out and not be able to get enough traction on the ice to get back. And I put in the article, I could start crying just thinking about this. Think about the danger of this. Your dog's out, he's not on a leash, you go to a park or something, there's a small lake or a pond, your dog goes running out there, and like I said, even if it looks like, oh, you can ice skate, you don't know how thick that ice is, and what if your dog falls through the ice? Or like I say in the article, what if they go out there and they slide way out and they can't get the traction on the ice to get back in? And then you're putting yourself at risk because then you're having to step on the ice yourself. Now it's got to hold your weight. You see what I mean? And, with things like this, with all of these things that we're talking about today, all of these risks with your pet, use this rule. If in doubt, don't. Okay. If you're not sure if it's okay to take your dog on a walk, if it's not sure if it's okay for you to stay out another 20 minutes, if you're not sure if you should be, let your dog ice skate on this pond, whatever. If you're in doubt, don't. Okay. Always just err on the side of cautions, but be careful about frozen lakes and ponds. And again, you got to have your dog on the leash because they might run out onto that pond or that lake. Okay. The holidays, cold weather, the season, it's the holiday season. And here's little Taz again. This was on Santa's lap. This was a fundraiser that was done by my local SPCA, and for $10 you got to have your dog's picture taken with Santa, and so I did it, and the $10 obviously goes to benefit the local SPCA. By the way, if you're in a position to do that, you might recommend that to your local SPCA because mine makes money with that every year. And also there's a video on this website, and the article is on there's a video on this YouTube channel, and the article is on my website, ways you can help your local SPCA. So I would encourage you to watch that video and read that article, and you're going to find a lot of surprising ways that you can help your local SPCA. But that's where I got this picture of Taz. Look at how cute. She had a little sweater, a little poofy scarf. So cute. But anyway, unfortunately, during the holiday season, there can be lots of hazards for pets during the holiday season. I just did a video last week, and if you're a subscriber, you saw it, about Halloween hazards for pets. There's lots of, just all the holidays just have a lot of hazards for pets. So be aware of holiday hazards. Here's a few here. Unplug Christmas lights, blow out candles when you're not at home. Make sure that your dog doesn't get tied up in the decorations or eat the decorations. Keep them away from certain foods that can be toxic to pets. I have an article on my website, foods that are poisonous to dogs and cats. Use garland instead of tinsel to decorate your Christmas tree because tinsel can be extremely dangerous to pets if they eat it. It can be an expensive stomach intestine surgery for you, all right, that your dog or cat may not survive if they're eating tinsel. It can get wrapped up in their intestines very quickly and create a serious medical emergency. Some plants, including holly, mistletoe, and poinsettias, can be toxic for pets. Even the Christmas tree as well. They can cause mouth irritation. I think with the Christmas tree, it's something about the pine. And if they drink the water from, where you have the Christmas tree, ask your vet about these things if you don't know for sure, but they can certainly be toxic. Chocolate is toxic for dogs. Many other holiday foods and treats can be dangerous to your pets as well. Like I said, oh, well, here, I forgot. I put a link here in blue, foods that are poisonous for dogs and cats. You can read that article, and you can also watch that video on this YouTube channel about that for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Turkey bones, candy, wrappers, bows from presents. The list goes on and on. Empty the garbage often. Keep stuff out of their reach. Make sure they don't get into the garbage. There was a family that I knew several years ago, and they had a beautiful home, and they had absolutely beautiful golden lab named Maxie. I adored that dog. She was huge. I don't mean overweight. She was just a big dog, and she was like a gentle giant. She was the sweetest girl, and she was very fortunate because her family loved her so much. You know, some dogs are just so blessed, and some cats that they're just really loved by their family and they're considered a family member. And that's how Maxie was. They loved her so much. Now, um, what happened was they were entertaining for Thanksgiving. They were having tons of people over, family members, for Thanksgiving. So they put together this huge Thanksgiving dinner, huge turkey, mashed potatoes, like the whole thing. They set the whole table. There's the turkey, the big bowl of mashed potatoes, all of it. And they walked out of the room to take pictures by the fireplace. They come back and Maxie had eaten half the dinner. Now, this is a big dog. She had eaten. Now, here's a few things. First of all, she's destroyed the dinner. Okay. But as an animal lover and her parents, we were more upset about, is the dog okay? They rushed her to the vet. They called immediately. The vet said, bring her in. They had to make a list. What could she have eaten? How much did she eat? Now, I don't know what kind of treatment that she got at the vet, but it's a medical emergency. Okay, because you don't know what she's eaten. Turkey bones alone, chicken bones, turkey bones, if they, crunch right into the turkey, they can choke on those. Turkey bones, chicken bones, they're very brittle. They can get stuck in the throat, that sort of thing. If they're eating sugar, I mean, sugar is absolutely terrible. If you have sweet potatoes with marshmallows melted on it and the dog eats the whole bowl, do you know what I mean? Not to mention just that very rapid, enormous consumption of food that she did. So obviously the first issue, the one of the issues is the fact that the dog destroyed the dinner, but the other issue is the fact that that was a medical emergency for that dog. Okay, that they had done that. I also had a dachshund once, not this dachshund named Taz, but before that I had another dachshund named Maggie. Now, I had an issue with her. Now, luckily, she did not get sick and she was okay. But I had an issue with her at holiday time. I had wrapped all the presents and I had bought a box of candy canes. And I hung a few candy canes on the tree. But every present that I wrapped, I taped a candy cane to the present. All right, there's all the presents under the tree. I also had cats at the time, and I had bought them a can of Pounce, the little softy cat treats. I had bought them a little can of Pounce, and I had opened the can of Pounce, and I put the Pounce in two little wrapping papers, and I wrapped them up with little wrapping paper to give as gifts for the cats. And then I also had bought gifts for Maggie. So I had a package of, rawhide chewy sticks and treats and all these things wrapped under the tree Christmas Eve. Okay. My husband and I went to bed. We get up in the morning and the dog slept with us, but she was free to roam the house. And little Maggie had helped herself. She ate all the candy canes. There wasn't a candy cane left. Do you know how many there were in the package? 12. That little dachshund ate 12 candy canes. She ate all the Pounce. She ate it all. Okay, so that means she ate a whole can of Pounce. And she had eaten, I don't know, 5 or 6 of the rawhide chewy sticks. Like she was just joyfully munching away when we got up in the morning. But again, I had to call the vet. Like I said, she was very fortunate. Nothing happened to her as a result of that. But had there been chocolate, the dog would probably not be alive today. Okay. But I'm just saying it was stupid of me. I didn't think of it. Here's all this candy, all these treats. The dog's alone in the middle of the night. She smells all this. She helped herself. And it was very dangerous for her to be consuming that much. So, we're getting off the subject a little bit about cold weather, but since Christmas time, and Thanksgiving and Halloween happen during cold weather, this is some of the hazards that come along when the cold weather does. Okay. So again, I hope that this has been helpful. There's nothing worse for a pet owner than to have something awful happen to your pet because we didn't do something that we should have to protect them. Okay. Just save yourself the heartache of something happening to your dog, whether they slip on the ice or they get frostbite or they freeze to death or they fall into a lake or they eat chocolate and die of kidney failure, all these things. I hate to be so morbid and so dramatic, but all the things that we're talking about in this video happen. Okay, they happen. So it's really important that we educate ourselves. And as dog owners and cat owners, we're responsible to protect our pets. So I really hope that you got some benefit out of this. Now, in the end of this article, you'll see a link to the article I told you about, When Is It Too Cold for Dogs? You can go ahead and read that. Look at the date of this video. If at least a week has passed since the date of this video and you're watching this video, if at least a week has passed, I've already probably done the video on that too, because like I said, I'm going to do it about a week from today. I'm going to do a video on that topic as well. When is it too cold for dogs? So I really hope that you have found this to be helpful. Again, I'm asking you to please share it with your friends who have pets. Put a link to this video and possibly to the article on your Facebook page, your Pinterest account, wherever you can share it with other animal lovers. I would really appreciate it. Now, let me tell you a couple more things. I donate to animal charities, and that's the last paragraph of my article here. I am an affiliate marketer, and it's what I do for a living. And peoplelovinganimals.com is one of my websites that I make a living on. And the way that I make a living on it is that I recommend products and services that go along with the topics that I'm discussing on my website for dogs and cats. Like, for example, in this article, I've given you a couple of suggestions, like, for example, to buy a winter coat. I've given you the link to Amazon to go buy your dog a coat. I gave you the link to Amazon to buy the salt that's safe for your dogs. All this kind of thing. I do a lot of articles on my website about dog training and cat training, and I do recommend to people the cat training programs and the dog training programs that I think are the best. And that's what I do, is I research products and services and I recommend them to people on my website. But I also just give you links to things that go along with what I'm trying to tell you. Like I'm telling you in this article, if you don't already have a carbon monoxide detector, you should get one. And I give you the link. And these links go to Amazon, and I am an affiliate for Amazon. So if you purchase the things that we're talking about in the videos or that we're talking about in the articles on my website, I do get a commission. And what I do is I give 10% of all of those commissions to animal charities. Okay, so that's another reason why I'm going to ask you to go ahead and share my website and share this YouTube channel with people that you know who love animals. Because if we're going to buy these things for our animals, we might as well have a portion of it be donated to animal charities, and that's what I do. So I would love it if you would share this so that we can help more animals. And if you go to the homepage of my website, I give you a link to it here, and then obviously you can just go to peoplelovinganimals.com. On the homepage, you'll see a list of animal charities that I donate that 10% to. Okay. Now, let me just look at my list real quick. Oh, the free gift. I promised you a free gift. In the description box of this YouTube video, you're going to find a link to this article that we've used for our video. You're going to find some of the links that I talked about during the video. You're also going to find a link that's in all capital letters, and it says, click here for my free gift. And there's going to be two. There's going to be a free gift for dog lovers and a free gift for cat lovers. Either one, if you click on the link for the dog lovers, it'll ask for your email and you'll get a free dog training manual. And it's a really great PDF. It's a very thorough dog training manual written by a professional dog trainer named Doggy Dan. And if you check out my YouTube channel or my website, you'll see I do a lot of videos and a lot about dog training. And Doggy Dan is the dog trainer that I recommend. So it's a really great PDF about dog training. You'll get that for free. Also, if you're a cat lover, or you can sign up for both if you want to, there's also a cat lover's free gift. If you sign up for that one, it's like a cat training manual. It's a little book about how to stop bad cat behavior. So you'll get that as your free gift. Now, when you give me your email, you are going to be subscribed to either the dog lovers list or the cat lovers lists. I have both email lists. You can subscribe to both if you want. And if you are a subscriber to those email lists, about every 5 or 7 days, you'll get an email from peoplelovinganimals.com, and it will be an article or a blog post or a video all about the training and care and health and safety of dogs and cats. Okay, so I would love to have you as an email subscriber. You can unsubscribe from that email list anytime, but I think you're going to find it quite valuable. There's really a lot of good articles, and I really, really do good research, and so I really try to make it really valuable and useful information. Whenever I'm giving you an article or a video, I'm trying to really make it helpful and useful. So I would really love it if you would subscribe to the email list. There's also going to be a link. Obviously, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would love that. There's also going to be a link to support this channel on Patreon if you would like to. And there's also my social media links. I do have a Facebook group for peoplelovinganimals.com. So I would love it if you would click on the Facebook link and go ahead and join the group. And that's a place where I'm hoping, I just started that recently, so I'm hoping it'll grow, and I'm hoping that's a place where we can exchange, help and support for each other as pet lovers, as animal lovers. And speaking of that, I would love it if you would comment below this video. Let me know your feedback, obviously, or if you have any questions, but please let me know, what kind of animal do you have? Do you have a dog or a cat? What's the breed? What's their name? I really would like to know. And also, you can always comment in my videos. You can always reply to my emails and let me know if there's something you need, if there's questions that I didn't answer, or if you're having an issue with your dog or cat that you need help on and you weren't able to find anything on my YouTube channel or on my website. Please go ahead and let me know about it, because maybe I've already done an article or a video that would help you that I could give you. Or if I get enough people asking for the same issue, I might go ahead and do an article or do a video about it. So I would really like it if you would give me feedback. And, everything that we do in this forum, whether it's this YouTube channel or on my website, helps animals. Okay. So I think that's it. I really appreciate you tuning in and watching my video today. Go down to the description box and get all the links that I told you about, and go ahead and get your free gift and protect your little poocheroonie and your kitty. In the winter time, it's cold outside, like the song, Baby, It's Cold Outside. Let's just take care of them. Let's keep them protected this winter. Okay. So again, thank you for watching. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thank you.